to the local commander. He tells me that the hotel now is being prepared to accept asylum seekers. So the rumours are true. It's a pity that some of the police officers didn't know, some did know. And absolutely furious. This hotel here, by the way, I mean, it must cost a couple £100 a night to stay there. Most normal people in this country would not even be able to afford to come and stay here for a weekend. But we've got illegals coming, and I hope the protesters remain peaceful and don't get into bother. They seem like a quiet bunch at the moment, but you know, let's hope it's all.
I work for a local charity here on the Isle of Dogs, and I have done for 42 years, okay? We serve over 1,000 people a week in the food bank, and the majority of those are working, okay? So these people are working, and they still can't afford to come in here for one night for an anniversary or for a birthday. They can't afford to do that. We have pensioners that are now terrified to even sit in their living room with their windows open. They need it closed because they're frightened. These people, whether it's scaremongering, we're not sure. But people are frightened now of being in their own homes, okay? The school holidays have started. The children have now broken up from school, so the kids are out on the street where they should be. They should be out there playing. Parents should not be terrified that their children are out and could be molested, approached, spoken to by people who have no passports, have no identity, whose culture is completely different to ours, who has no respect for women and children, okay? These are people that we haven't invited and we haven't paid or said that we contribute towards them staying here, okay? This has been put on to us. Having spoken to the councillors, yeah, Mayor Rahman and Aspire and all the councillors were not aware of what was going on today. That was a deal done between the government and the Britannia Hotel, okay? So what will happen is, because it's a very, very large Bangladeshi community here, and we've basically integrated. It took a long time, but we've basically integrated. If any one of these guys approach them, I'm warning you now, the Bangladeshi community will uprise. They will uprise, and you should not ever swamp an area with one group of people. If you've got 550 rooms there, they're double up, which is 1,100 young fighting men who could have stayed in their country and fought like we are here, fighting to keep what they believe in. And we've got them going to be out on the streets. We've got Canary Wharf, affluent shops, right, for the picking. You go in there, nick anything you want in it. Who are you? You haven't got a passport, you've got no identity. Where do you find these people? It's fear. It's absolutely fear. And I admire every single one of these people out here. They're standing there quietly and they're protesting quietly to say enough is enough. And what you've done is just transferred effing to the Isle of Dogs. And I'm telling you, Isle of Dogs won't put up with it. And it's just been moved on and on and on. And I do feel sorry for the police, because a lot of the police are probably local boys. But
do you think there'd be such an outcry if the country was in a better state? So if NHS waiting lists were down, or there was public money and public services were working, do you think people would be so affronted at people having getting to stay in a hotel?
yeah, just let me put it cleanly.
People are struggling now, aren't they? Like,
people are really struggling. You have a lifeboat that holds 300 people, that has 300 supplies, and you put 600 in it, you will sink. And that is what's happening here. You cannot keep pandering our services, our health service, with nobody here. I bet if you went along there and said, when was the last time you went to the dentist? I bet 1 out of 10 will say,
vans
They
on the way
fear
down.
what is happening to Epic. Right? That's what they fear. These people here are families, their husbands and wives, and they've got no intentions of causing any aggravation at all. If that happens, it's from people outside. I can swear by that. Right? I witness it every day. I have worked for that charity for 42 years. I don't know how to integrate these people. You tell me where do I start integrating these men into this community? Yeah, I've been doing it for 42 years. I haven't got a clue where to start. I don't know how many of them speak English. I don't know what their backgrounds are. None of us do.
So is your concern, is it mainly out of fear, or is it that it disrupts the community, that there's the lack of cultural integration?
It's a combination. It's a combination. Yes, it's fear, because it's fear of the unknown. We don't know what's going to happen.
For our loved ones, for our relatives, to be able to walk the streets safely like we do now.
Yeah.
That's just going to put pressure on that.
With the Isle of Dogs, it's a unique place. The Isle of Dogs is on one way, out the other way.
It's an island.
It's an island, okay? And everybody knows everybody else. If his children was to go too far, someone would tell them to go back. Right? That's how it is. So I know it is what somebody said on the television last night, a tinderbox, waiting to happen. And I'd hate it to happen here.
Are you worried that this might be the spark?
It probably would be the spot. Listen,
What would the spark be? Would that be a crime? Would it be an assault? Would it be...
just be honest here. You've been here all this time. People are standing here. No one's screaming, no one's shouting, no one's calling, no political, yet they're throwing eggs. What is that telling you? They are throwing eggs. No one is shouting up at these. No one's being racial. They are throwing eggs. So what does that say to you? They have no intentions whatsoever of integrating with this local community. And it's terrifying. It is terrifying.
So what's your understanding, Alex, of what's happening at the moment?
Well, as we've heard yesterday, this Britannia Hotel at Canary Wharf, the latest hotel to be requisitioned by the Home Office for housing illegal migrants. And just moving people around on a chessboard isn't the solution to this. This is only happening because Keir Starmer has failed to smash the gangs, he's failed to stop the boats, and he's not deporting those people who have no right to be here. This needs to change.
What do you think of what happened yesterday with people gathering outside, protesters?
I completely understand why people are unhappy. They've come here to protest because they're not happy to be foisted on them in their community with no consultation and no democracy. It's the same in Epping, where they had elections cancelled. It's all very well saying you should take part in the democratic process. You can't do that if there aren't elections to do that. So people are upset. They've got great concerns about risk to their safety of the children, and they're having their say. And obviously, completely abhor any kind of violence, disorder, that kind of thing. But people have got to have the right to be heard, and if that means standing outside here and saying what they think, I'm all for it.
Why have you come down here today?
I've come down here just to find out what's going on, really. Obviously, I saw the coverage yesterday. I wanted to come down and see for myself, that's why I'm here.
Do you fear more hotels in London are going to end up like this, with people outside them and protesters or people inside?
I think it's inevitable. The longer this crisis goes on, and it is a crisis, the longer it goes on, the more people are going to be upset and the more it's going to happen. These hotels have got to be closed down. Now, Labour have promised that by the time of the next election, they will have stopped using hotels. We'll very much be holding them to account on that. But the next question is, where do they move them after that? Will it be HMOs? Will it be on your street? Who knows? What has to happen is the numbers have to be brought down. We need to stop the pull factors. We need to stop incentivising people, traffickers to bring people here. And we need to make it clear that if you enter this country illegally, you will not be allowed to stay.
Do you fear an escalation, maybe violent confrontations here or elsewhere in London?
I certainly hope not, because people have got to have the right to be heard, but they should do it through peaceful means. Use the ballot box when they have the chance, use protests, use petitions, write to your MPs, that kind of thing. We don't want violence, we don't want disorder, but we do want to be heard.
What would Reform do to combat this issue?
The first thing we would do is we would actually stop the boats. We would turn back the boats under the Convention of the Law of the Sea, and we will stop those pull factors, stop it being so attractive to come in the first place, and make it very, very clear, if you enter the country illegally, you are breaking the law, you will not be allowed to stay.
That include the ECHR withdrawing from that?
I think we have to. I welcome the intervention this week from Sir Broberman. I think some really interesting ideas about the steps of how we actually deliver that. So we need to move on beyond just mere sloganising and actually put that into practice. And no party's got a monopoly on good ideas. Welcome Suella's contribution.
Could Suella be on the brink of joining the party?
No, that's above my pay grade. Can't comment on that.
Okay, so what is the history exactly of United Kingdom? For the longest time, we all know United Kingdom colonized the whole world. whether it's in Africa, whether it's in Asian, whether it's in America, British were there and they did colonize. So where they used to go and colonize, and by the time you got independence, they gave people that permission to migrate to United Kingdom if you feel like. Indians were given that rule, that preferences, and also other parts of the world. Even the Caribbean people, the Jamaican were also given their preferences. Now, fast forward to the modern United Kingdom. Right now, if you go to United Kingdom, or should I say Britain, you are going to find people from different races. You'll find white, yellow, brown, and different other parts of people. So in other words, what I'm saying is you'll find the Africans over there, you'll find whites over there, you'll find Asian over there, and of course you'll find also the Latinos over there. Remember, it's a rainbow country because the colonies where they did colonized, those citizens, they wanted to migrate to find greener pasture, and of course United Kingdom was allowing that. Now what happens to the original citizens of Britain? So for the longest time you have seen the white Britain, that is, they choose the types of job they want to work. Then you're being told majority of them end up dropping out of schools, and of course enjoying the benefits that the country is offering through that is the taxpayer money. Now the migrants, when they come in and settle in United Kingdom, they have the skills. Majority of them have the skills, especially the ones who move to United Kingdom as nurses, or should I say in professional capacity. The most of them, when they go in there, they start from scratch and they work hard and put themselves throughout, and then they end up becoming financially independent. Now for the natives, why, that is the white people who are the original Britain people, when they see migrants benefiting out of the whole economy, where they get jobs, they have the skills, and they benefit by getting those health insurance that is affordable, and of course it has it's benefiting them, and also they end up feeling jealousy, they end up feeling bad, they end up feeling like they're being left out, and they end up feeling like, you know what, this is not my country, this is not what we voted for. Forgetting that, the past atrocities that Britain did in those colonies is what has resulted to what it is right now. People are migrating, people are settling in United Kingdom because of the greener pasture, the opportunities that they're looking for their families. Now, for the people who literally have settled in United Kingdom, who are immigrants and ended up becoming lazy, and they ended up taking over, benefiting the taxpayer money by getting the food, getting accommodation free of charge because the government is paying for you. They're getting clothes free of charge because the government is taking care of you. Of course, those are the people that the Britons are very angry about, that because they're saying the government is literally allowing immigrants to settle in United Kingdom free of charge, and they are given food, they're given insurance as a result of the taxpayer money. So they feel like the government is not doing enough to deal with the issue of illegal immigrants in United Kingdom. The issue of immigrants who have settled in United Kingdom, who have skills, that high demand skill set, especially people who are into the medicine, especially people who are into nursing. Majority also are immigrants, because for the longest time Britain had a shortage of nurses, had a shortage of doctors. Even up to now they do have that. So they've always given priority to immigrants who have those skills like nursing, doctor, and other skills in terms of caregiving. They've always given them preferences. So when these people come into Britain or to United Kingdom and they settle and they end up getting those high paying jobs, and ended up end up becoming a middle income community who are immigrants, and they're doing so well as compared to the white who are Britain, who are literally in the lower middle class. It end up building up resentment, because the white Britons are wondering, why are these immigrants doing so well in this economy, while us, the natives who are Britain, who have low skills, who are doing maybe blue collar jobs, are not doing so well. They're literally living hand to mouth, where they're working like 2-3 jobs, and still they cannot even afford the bare minimum to live comfortable in the British society, because everybody knows the bills, and of course the taxes, and of course accommodation in Britain is very, very, very expensive. So that's the disparity that is there in United Kingdom. So you're seeing that tension, and of course you're seeing people, the whites, that is the white Britons, coming out in anger in the street and saying, no, this is not our country is being overtaken by outsiders, we want to take back our country. And then of course they're saying there are no jobs, how comes outsiders are getting those jobs and us we're not getting jobs? But then if they are being asked those crucial questions like, do you have those skill set to do the job, majority of the Britain, most of some of them are being told they drop out of school, they don't have the right skill set to get those jobs, and that's the reason why, because of the shortage in the country, now Britain is forced to look for high skills people from outside around the world. So now this back and forth is what's really making the confusion, the tension, the rising tension of, you know, the Britain or the United Kingdom being against allowing immigrants to settling in Britain. And of course the rise in crime, because right now you're being told there's also a high increase in crime. You're being told there's some immigrants who have settled in Britain, but they're also into criminality. There's a lot of rape cases that are happening right now. You're being told there's some Muslim people who settle in UK, and it's a big community right now, because people have literally, you know, have children, so they put down the roots in Britain. So you've cases of Middle Eastern, when Libya fell apart, and of course you have immigrants who moved to Britain and other parts of Middle East who have warfare, they moved to, you know, Europe. So you have seen these Islam people have settled down there, the Middle Eastern people have settled down in Europe, and of course even Britain. So these guys have literally settled down, they have children, everything. So some cases they're being told, because of the culture from the Middle East, they have literally brought it back to Europe and of course Britain. And as a result of that, you're being told there are people who literally want to marry underage kids, like 12-year-olds, because Islam allows it, according to them. And of course you're being told also there are those rape cases, and of course there's that the other cases where it are happening as a result of the culture, and this thing also has literally torn apart Britain itself inside out, because the Britons are like, you know what, this is not our culture, this is not us. As Britons, as United Kingdom, we don't identify ourselves with, you know, with Islam and all this stuff. But at the end of the day, Islam now is part and parcel of Britain, because majority of Middle Eastern people, Somali and other people come from the Islamic region, have settled in Britain. And right now Islam is also a religion that is being identified by the country. So all these layers that are happening in Britain and of course in Europe has led to the Britons now to be so anti-immigrant, thinking like, you know what, this is not the country that we were born into, we feel like it's different. And this tension now, and of course with the high rise of economic inflation, bills are so expensive, lack of jobs, so all this has played a role into making people becoming so anti-migrant and feeling like, you know what, opportunities are being taken out by outsiders and not being given to the natives, original Britain people. So let me know what you think about this video. Drop your comments and please subscribe to my channel.